are live.
Ass. That was ass.
Oh, my bad.
Oh man. We in here. Let me get
Yeah.
this quick like off on the channel and shit. That's good. That's good. I got all this open. I am not sure if whoever comes across this video and have watched our previous videos can notice, but my camera looks a lot different. Now, as I look at it on the stream, it don't look that bad. Maybe some more lighting would help. But looking at it from backstage, that shit look grainy and ass. All right? Dude. But yeah, temporary situation. It is what it is. At least I have a camera today. So
Well, yeah. This is the third week in a row. You gotta.
Come on, bro.
Can we get right in June?
I think we can get right in June.
Okay.
I think we can get right in June.
All right, cool.
I'm pretty certain of that. But what's up, Biddy?
What's up?
I'm about to do this intro
Yeah.
because it's actually some stuff. This thing I want to address early on, but then after that, as you can see by the title, DJ Academics, we coming for you.
No, it's not
no.
DJ
Damn.
Academics.
Oh, damn.
That's why. That's funny enough. There was a different name for it, and for some reason, academics popped in my head. It was supposed to be I hate intellectuals, but academics popped in my head, and I was like, oh, this could be some type of clickbait for people that think I'm spelling his name wrong.
Right.
Just to be clear, if anybody sees that and think that I'm referring to academics and I'm simply spelling his name wrong, I hate you too.
Yeah.
Okay, just want to be clear.
Welcome everyone to the Black Culture Geeks podcast. This is my man SPJ. And I am Tombstone the Dead Man, and we are just a couple of geeks talking about pop culture from a black perspective. Facts indeed. Now, as you can see by the title, SPJ hates academics.
I do.
Right?
I do.
I gotta say, I'm not all that fond of them these days either. Right? But be that as it may, we're back. And before we get into the festivities, it's something I have to address because, look, man, I keep saying more and more of this sort of stuff. And sometimes it has to be drilled down in people's heads. Now, first, allow me to stipulate. Because inevitably, when I talk about stuff like this, there's always somebody that comes running along, but they're not perfect. Okay, got you. Let me first stipulate, China is not perfect.
Yeah.
They be doing stuff. All right? So I'm putting that out. I'm just putting that out there. So, but what I want to talk to you about is a highly addictive, completely manufactured drug that's currently running rampant across the United States. No, I'm not talking about anything you find on the street. I'm talking about a psychological sedative. Let's call it American copium. See, the pundits, the politicians, and the talking heads love to get on television and pass this pipe around, telling us that America doesn't have to worry about its global rivals anymore. Right now, the primary target of this cope is China. Lately, the narrative goes something like this. Don't worry about China, y'all. Their population is shrinking. They used to be over 1 billion. Now people are claiming that they're down to 800 million. They're aging out. They've got way more senior citizens than young workers. So their manufacturing empire is going to crumble. We win by default. Except that's not how this works. That's not how any of this, works. In fact, if that isn't pure, unadulterated cope, I don't know what is. But this cope doesn't happen to live in a vacuum. It is fed by deep systemic American narcissism. We have spent generations brainwashing and whitewashing geopolitical events to convince ourselves that America is the permanent center of the universe. the indispensable nation that always does the right thing. Eventually. But this creates a dangerous, arrogant blind spot, especially for people who have never actually stepped foot outside of this country. Their entire perception of the rest of the world is some Mad Max dystopia narrated to them through the filter of the United States government. Because of that jingoism, they think they have the right to talk shit to other countries and talk down on minorities right here at home. Every single time we complain about decades and centuries of systemic nonsense that has yet to be dismantled, what do they say? If you don't like it here, why don't you leave, nigga? I saw a comment exactly like that on Instagram just this week.
Yikes.
Someone in the video pointed out how a lot of Americans only think that there is no place else to go because they've never traveled. And immediately, some jackass replies, well, if it's so bad, why are you still here? That response is the peak of American arrogance because it completely ignores reality. People are trapped. Our entire work culture is structured to make it exceedingly difficult for the average person to financially exist outside of this country unless they already have a pension or Social Security. But that is not a flex. It is a direct demonstration of how this country does not give a damn for its people, keeping them economically locked down so tightly that they couldn't leave for an extended period even if they wanted to. And despite those barriers, people are leaving. Right? More Americans have been packing up and moving abroad over the last few years than ever before. And the ones who can't leave are wishing they could. This does not speak well for your society. We love to brag about freedom. We are so quick to look at other places and talk about how they lack freedom. But let's look at the type of freedom we actually have here. You have the freedom to starve. You have the freedom to go completely bankrupt because you had a health scare. We look at a place like China and say, oh, they aren't allowed to talk bad about their president. Well, making a goofy meme online about your political leaders doesn't actually improve your day-to-day life. Meanwhile, over there, they might have cameras everywhere. But those cameras come with an upside. Hardly any crime. You have actual physical safety and the protection of your property. Also, don't get too cocky. This is a surveillance state as well. They just offload that responsibility to corporations that you all gave your information to. You're all walking around with these phones, not even thinking about turning the GPS off, right? And all you got to do is look at your Gmail account. Every month, they'll send you a report of where you've been. Listen, I will take that everyday safety over a society where children walk into schools and kill their classmates. We hear talk about how violent crime numbers are down across the U.S., and they have been for a while. But the crime that remains is baked right into the cake of living in a violent, arrogant society. So y'all can play that game all you want. You can keep running around acting like that legendary pigeon playing chess, knocking over the pieces, shitting on the board, and strutting around like you won the game. It does not change the fact that your geopolitical rival is ahead of you. And they are pulling further ahead by leaps and bounds every year. This system is simply not equipped to catch up. American hegemony is over. It's living on borrowed time. We allowed, when I say we, I'm not talking about anybody sitting here in this broadcast or most of the people that listen to us live. But we allowed an arrogant leader and a team of enablers to get into power, piss off the rest of the world, and make terrible strategic decisions just to enrich himself and his family. And what is the solution? All anyone can do is point to a so-called opposition party that completely lacks the backbone for the times we are living in. We can't even agree to put them in place long enough to stabilize things and buy ourselves some time. It's fucking pathetic. And to that, what I mean by that, in case you haven't been paying attention, all online, what you'll see is what happens every time around the selection stuff. You see the center left beefing with the far left. It is absurd. And y'all going to continue to do that goofy shit. I know you are, because this is what you are. You're locked into that loop right there. But let's bring it back to the core issue. While America is busy talking shit and burning bridges, China has been quietly making massive inroads across the African continent. They're investing in infrastructure, building goodwill, and fostering genuine alliances. I've talked about this on the show before. By the time we hit 2050, the projections show that 1 in 4 people on this planet will be African. The median age across the continent right now is around 18 years old. That is a massive, young, energetic population explosion.
Mm-hmm.
So picture the chessboard a few decades down the line. A highly developed Africa, complete with modern processing plants and factories, connected by trade agreements and mutual cooperation with China. When China needs to supplement its automated workforce, they won't be wishing for more people. They will have a specialized worker visa program bringing in young, skilled talent from a continent that remembers who showed up to help them out. Meanwhile, back home, we can't even build our own ships fast enough because we sent our manufacturing capabilities overseas years ago. So now China commands the largest navy by ship count in the world, and they're outproducing America at a rate America can't touch. They're making the same strategic moves right in our backyard across Latin America while we try to play catch up with old school geopolitical pressure. The bottom line is simple. America's temperament over the last couple of years has left it isolated. When things go sideways, the U.S. is not going to be in a position to ask the rest of the world for a helping hand. So the next time you hear someone tell you America's doing just fine because the rest of the world is struggling, please recognize that that's a grift. Put the pipe down. This is just the American copium keeping y'all asleep while the rest of the world builds the future beyond the need for you. That's it. I'm done.
I mean,
so is this place. Sean P.
What up, what up, what up? So,
what up, Bowflex?
What up, what up, what up? Let's just jump right into it because this shit is annoying. Credentialism, ethics, and media responsibility. The rapid expansion of the digital mental health and wellness industry has established a highly lucrative market for self-studied relationship gurus, motivational speakers, and lifestyle coaches. As public demand for accessible psychoeducation grows, the boundaries separating legally regulated clinical practice from unregulated commercial life coaching have increasingly blurred. A major flashpoint in this ongoing debate is the public controversy surrounding Cheyenne Bryant, known professionally as Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. Over several years, Bryant cultivated... I like the way that the report separated. Yeah. Over several years, Bryant cultivated a highly visible media platform, co-producing MTV's Teen Mom Family Reunion, publishing the self-help book Mental Detox, and appearing as a guest expert on major syndicated programs. However, her public narrative underwent significant deconstruction following targeted public audits of her academic credentials, her unlicensed status, and the developmental safety of the behavior advice she dispenses. I love the fact that this called it a targeted audit versus an attack. Because, I don't have to explain. This case study provides a critical lens into the mechanics of academic misrepresentation, the strategic exploitation of institutional closures to obscure professional records, and the broader sociological and ethical obligations of mental health figures operating in media spaces. Stated background. To trace the trajectory of the controversy, it is necessary to examine the official educational background Bryant has put forward. According to her published biography, she enrolled at California State University, Northridge at age 17, ultimately graduating with double bachelor's degrees in psychology and Pan-African studies. She subsequently completed a Master of Arts in Marriage, Family, and Child Therapy at the University of Phoenix, stating that she realized her therapeutic calling halfway through her master's program while undergoing her own personal healing journey. She transitioned into professional counseling. The primary catalyst for the public controversy, however, centers on her claim of a doctorate in counseling psychology from Argosy University. Observers auditing her online biography noticed that her official website historically utilized ambiguous language, stating that she decided to pursue her doctorate degree from Argosy rather than explicitly declaring its completion. Academic psychologists searching national registries found no record of a completed doctoral dissertation authored by Bryant. No record of a completed doctoral dissertation authored by Bryant, or doctorial, as she would say, which raised initial concerns that her doctor title was a commercial branding mechanism rather than a verified academic credential. So there's a chart here. So, declared professional milestone, Bachelor of Arts, double major, claimed academic institution and context, California State University, Northridge, Psychology and Pan-African Studies, empirical status and regulatory reality, verified. Undergraduate programs have been completed. Okay. Declared professional milestone, Master of Arts, claimed academic institution and context, University of Phoenix, Marriage, Family and Child Therapy, empirical status and regulatory reality, verified. Academic requirements completed.
Good shit.
Declared professional milestone, doctorate, PSYD or PhD, claimed academic institution and context, Argosy University, counseling, psychology, empirical status, and regulatory reality, unverifiable. No dissertation recorded in academic repositories, academic dismissal for plagiarism, documented by program advisor. Oh, what? Wait, I didn't know that one.
What about what? Oh, what?
Academic dismissal for plagiarism documented by program advisor.
That's interesting.
I did not know that one.
That's interesting for a lot of reasons.
Okay. It goes on. Declared professional milestone, clinical licensure, claimed academic institution and context, State of California, BBS and Board of Psychology, empirical status and regulatory reality, unlicensed. No active, inactive, or historical record exists in state licensing databases. So it's very different to say that you are no longer licensed.
Yes.
And that you have never been licensed.
Yes.
Very different. Very different. And the last one, declared professional milestone, clinical methodology, claimed academic institution and context, hybrid psychodynamic CBT combined with life coaching, empirical status and regulatory reality, unregulated coaching, legally prohibited from practicing clinical psychotherapy. The empirical refutation of the transcript defense. The controversy intensified following Bryant's appearance on The Breakfast Club on May 12th, hosted by Charlamagne Tha God, DJ Envy, and that one girl. During the but hold on, I'm not the only. I want to be clear. I'm not the only one disrespecting her. The report gives Charlamagne's professional name. It gives Envy's professional name, but for some reason it gives her government name. Why doesn't it give her professional? I don't know. Listen.
Well, I do think that that's disrespectful. I actually went through that one time before. One of the first interviews that Graydon and I ever did together, they called him by his stage name, but then they called me by my real name. And Graydon got highly offended. Highly offended. Right.
Fucking standard.
Right.
It literally says Charlamagne the God, DJ Envy, and Jessica Moore.
This is so
why?
Why would you do that?
What? Anyway, during the 52-minute interview, Bryant attempted to address the missing dissertation and academic records. She argued that the sudden permanent closure of Argosy University on March 8th, 2019, following the financial collapse and federal receivership of its parent company, Dream Center Educational Holdings, made retrieving her records impossible. Bryant claimed that she was offered a tuition refund by the Federal Financial Aid Office in exchange for forfeiting her completed credits, which she declined, which had never happened.
No.
Anywhere. Ever. That's not what happened.
That's not what no.
She insisted that the school's third-party record handler only preserved records for 2 years post-closure, claiming that while she downloaded partial transcripts up to her dissertation from the student portal prior to the shutdown, all other institutional verification had been erased. Why would you only... What reason?
What would be the possible... Yeah.
That don't make sense. Why? For what? Anyway, okay. This explanation was quickly challenged by other Argosy University alumni and clinical educators. On May 13th, the next day, a licensed clinical professional counselor holding a PhD offered their own official Argosy University transcripts through the National Student Clearinghouse to test Bryant's claims. The transcript order cost $27.50 and was successfully delivered on the same day, directly refuting Bryant's public assertion that records were unavailable. Under federal record-keeping mandates and state higher education guidelines, student records for defunct institutions are permanently preserved by state licensing boards, the Higher Learning Commission, and third-party companies like Parchment. Furthermore, standard academic policy dictates that a completed doctoral degree requires a formal dissertation defense and indexing in national repositories such as ProQuest. Inquiries into these databases yield no records for Bryant. Instead, academic forums and records surfaced allegations from her former dissertation advisor documenting that Bryant had been formally dismissed from Argosy University's doctoral program for plagiarism. Now, before I go any further, I just want to point out a very key point in this story that before the heat got hot on her, she was saying, I paid for a doctoral program. So you're intentionally leaving out details because the average person is going to ignore that.
Yeah, that is sus as fuck. That you left the important.
Because why would you say you pay? No, nobody gives a shit if you paid for it. Did you complete it?
Did you complete the motherfucker?
That's what matters.
Have paid for some shit like that and didn't finish.
Right. A bunch of people have paid tuitions and haven't. Okay. All right.
A lot of that shit could have been avoided, man. Like that's
all
of shit.
Could have been avoided.
You could have just told the truth and still got an audience.
Yes, actually. The regulatory and clinical ethics gap. Controversy extends beyond academic dishonesty into the realm of professional licensing laws. Database queries of the California Department of Consumer Affairs, the Board of Behavioral Sciences, and the California Board of Psychology revealed that Bryant has never held a state license to practice psychotherapy. Although she possesses a master's degree in marriage and family therapy, she cannot legally market herself as a clinical therapist or provide psychotherapeutic treatment without an active state license and board supervision. When questioned, Bryant defended her unlicensed status by asserting that she provides life coaching rather than therapy, employing a hybrid modality that blends clinical psychodynamic cognitive behavior therapy with commercial coaching. Critically, she argued that she deliberately chose to bypass licensure to avoid being blinded by the Board of Ethics. So, what is a Board of Ethics?
Well, let's start with the last word in that line. Ethics.
Okay.
So when we think of ethics, what do we think of? Set of rules, either societally made or institutionally made, that are supposed to regulate what they consider to be fair play. This is a loose definition, but this is close to what it actually is supposed to be. Mm-hmm. So this is about fair play. This is about you doing the right fucking thing based around the context of whatever it is you're doing. Mm-hmm. Health ethics, political ethics, you name it, right? Are you doing the thing that's considered to be the right thing to do in this genre? One of those things would probably be not misrepresenting.
Yeah, I'm sure. So for those who want a more what's the word?
Academic.
Yeah. A Board of Ethics is an independent government body that ensures public officials, civil servants, and lobbyists comply with public integrity laws.
Right.
These entities investigate complaints, issue advisory opinions, enforce conflict of interest rules, and manage financial disclosures to uphold transparency and trust.
Facts, Chrissy.
Facts. Let me see. This bypass of regulation has been compared by media critics to controversial digital mental health platforms. Critics on digital forums have described corporate counseling networks like BetterHelp as the Dr. Bryant of mental health apps, arguing that they function as unregulated entities that dilute clinical standards for corporate profit. This stands in contrast to media figures who maintain absolute transparency regarding their lack of credentials, such as the host of the radio segment Kiki's Court on The Fred Show, who explicitly informs listeners that their legal advice is a comedic bit and that their law degree was obtained from Walgreens.
See how easy it is to just
disclose.
Listen, disclose. I'm telling you, people don't care. Listen.
Yeah.
Do you?
Oh, I'm gonna
have
get
any
into
idea?
That later. Yeah.
Yes. But do you have any idea how much I can't stand the fact that y'all will listen to charlatans, snake oil salesmen, and all this other shit? And how I've been railing against that shit for years. So I am here telling you,
we're uniquely situated to express this notion.
Right.
I promise you they don't care.
They don't care. Trust me.
By contrast, Bryant has maintained that her opinions are backed by scientific work and academic credentials, despite lacking the verifiable backing to support these claims. The Truth Talks confrontation and media collapse. The credential controversy reached a tipping point following a highly publicized confrontation on Fox Soul's Truth Talks, a series on which Bryant had appeared since season 1. Journalist and podcaster Touré was brought in during season 2 to add structure to the program. Touré later reported that Bryant was exceptionally difficult to work with, prone to long interruptions, meandering soliloquies, and going off topic. He shared that he doubted her credentials from their very first conversation, noting that she did not behave like an intellectual or an experienced child therapist.
Yeah.
During the final,
you can kind of tell. This is also the problem that a lot of people have with Dr. Umar too.
Yeah,
this is the exact same thing.
the issue with him is he actually is a PhD.
Right.
So
but his behavior
yes.
is given someone who don't and is playing games.
Right. That's the issue with that one. I hate that so. Anyway, during that final episode of the 2025 season, which resurfaced and went viral after the controversy kicked up, the host engaged in a heated, to be clear, they are not hosts. Cheyenne is a permanent guest, meaning that her spot is solidified. However, Touré was hired to be the host.
He works there.
Yeah, he's hired to be the host. We're engaged in a heated debate.
And I saw that clip.
regarding gentle parenting and child discipline. Bryant advocated for strict physical discipline, claiming that raising children without rigid boundaries leads to future issues with law enforcement. Touré countered with empirical data, noting that individuals subjected to physical violence as children are statistically more likely to enter the prison system. He challenged her professional... Yes. Go. You with the glasses.
Yeah. I was spanked. Listen, This is no shade on my mom. She did the best she could do with what she understood, right? But as evidence of that, when I grew older, the example I took from that subconsciously,
violent soldier issues,
where somebody does something that they're not supposed to do, you need to stomp on their liver, right? So it does not. I wound up getting in trouble with the law, right? I wound up going to jail. What I'm telling you is, as just this one anecdotal thing, it's not true.
Right.
It's not true.
He challenged her professional authority, arguing that no legitimate child therapist would advocate for violent parenting.
None.
Despite direct instructions from the show's producer in her earpiece to de-escalate, Bryant launched a personal attack on Touré's masculinity in front of guests Frank Ski and Avera Martin.
Frank Ski, y'all.
Frank Ski.
I know some of y'all don't know who
like,
Frank
bruh,
Ski is.
When I saw Frank Ski, I was like, oh, shit.
Right. It's a big name in the black community for you to be showing your ass.
Yeah.
That's royalty.
That's crazy.
Practically.
Insanity. She instructed Touré to lower your fucking voice, labeled his parenting approach as soft. No, that's not what happened.
That's not what happened.
She wasn't talking about his parenting approach. She was talking about him.
Soft. She was calling him soft, spelled
soft
S-A-W-F-T.
Shut the hell up. Soft and feminine, and called the married father of two a softie, stating, I'm not your wife, softie. Right. Viewers condemned these remarks as homophobic and emasculating. Why? Because they are. It's very simple. they are.
And just so you know, to back up the point even more about the spanking and versus the soft parenting, had I been Touré and she would have said that shit to me, my wife, who was not soft parented, would have responded violently. Right? So yeah.
Nope. Don't see nothing about that. So, following the broadcast, Touré released a public statement characterizing his 6 months working with Bryant as an experience in Soul Plane TV. He stated that she was nobody's intellectual and accused her of committing stolen valor, the academic.
I was about to use that phrase.
Relying on raw charisma and reality TV talent to mask a total absence of professional credentials. All right, I want to push back against this. Because of what the title of the episode is. Yes. I would like to argue that there may be a standard with which people generally believe intellectuals should behave.
Yes.
However, that is not the reality. That's not the reality. But I get his point. I'm not contradicting his point. His point stands. So one of the things that outside of the story itself, one of the things that spurned this title, Amanda Seales, Media Alliances and the Hypocrisy Backlash. Despite mounting evidence, certain media allies attempted to shield Bryant from accountability. Amanda Seales, host of the Small Doses podcast, became a central defender of Bryant, having previously hosted her as a guest. Seales published a series of videos expressing frustration with the public's obsession with Bryant's credentials, suggesting that the backlash was driven by automated bot accounts. Seales argued that Bryant was incredible on her podcast, that her advice was highly effective, and that she didn't care if Bryant lies because she did not directly harm anyone. Let's stop right there. First,
please, let's stop right there.
First,
please.
Harm. Oh, wait, before I even do that, you know that there are
facts, Mikey,
are live therapists who are licensed and active and credentialed and even PhD'd out here who are directly stating that what Cheyenne is doing is harmful.
Yes.
This is not, we're taking this out of speculation, because what intellectuals do and academics do often is they completely disregard other perspectives simply because that the actual words may have come from someone who is not as educated or as credentialed. And they do it subconsciously. It's not on purpose often. Oftentimes it's one of their blind spots. But I just want to point out that actual people who have earned their masters and doctorates and actively keep up with being licensed in these fields,
who are
have
themselves
expressed,
intellectuals and academics,
that part, have expressed that this behavior is harmful.
Right.
If not just to the people. As Chrissy said, one of the first clauses in the Code of Ethics is do no harm.
Do no harm.
That's not, if not harmful to any specific individual, which I would argue it is, it is harmful to the overall concept of mental health work.
Great.
Because she is frauding. Not only is she frauding, but she herself is putting down the system that allows for mental health work to be effective by shitting on the board and the Code of Ethics.
Yeah.
So hasn't harmed anyone is categorically false. This isn't an opinion.
The fact that she made that statement is wild, because it does erode quite a bit of any credibility anybody would want to give Ms. Seales.
So this there's more, but I'm still filibustering. A part of this is so bittersweet because, unfortunately, my darling Chrissy has been, luckily for her sake, shielded from some of these online things. Like, I remember having to explain to her what an incel is, like that type of thing. So I have been telling her for years, my relationship with Amanda Seales is very, very love-hate, because she be on some bullshit a lot, and Chrissy had never experienced it. So when I watched the video, Chrissy was next to me, and I was like, hey, this is an example of what I'm talking about.
And by the way, one of the other things she does on a regular basis to her own audience is when they question something she says and they have a thorough refutation of an example she's given or an assertion she's made, she will be very attack doggish to them in the way she responds. And that to me is a clear sign of something. that's a clear sign of someone who has an inability to take critique or pushback. And if you are going to be in these public streets on Thomas Jefferson's internet, right, talking to people and expressing these ideas, particularly the radicalized ideas that a lot of the stuff she says, which a lot of the radicalization shit she talks about, I agree with. But if you're going to do that, you have to expect pushback.
Yes.
And even amongst the people who generally agree with you, there might be some segments of your position that they take issue with or have a question with. The way that you respond to them is not to attack them or say some passive aggressive nonsense like that. That's not the way to do that. And she has an ability to do that. And that, to me, it also has to do with maturity.
Yeah. Continuing, she further claimed that the public should focus on larger political figures like Kamala Harris rather than auditing a life coach's degree. No. Oh, wait. We gonna get into that later. We gonna get into that.
What are you talking about?
We gonna get to that later. That comes. I got a section for that. That's gonna come later. Sills' defense of Bryant provoked intense criticism from her own fan base, who highlighted her blatant hypocrisy. Critics pointed out that Sills had recently labeled political figures like Jasmine Crockett as an op for minor political disagreements, yet was actively defending a clear academic fraud. The public backlash was so severe that Sills subsequently announced she was leaving social media again, because she does this. It's a cycle. She does this over and over and over again.
Again, this is very telling.
Yes. Observers compared Bryant's fraudulent branding to other... I'll get into that later. That's a whole another thing. Sociological frame... we don't got to read that one. Clinical synthesis and policy recommend. We don't got to read that one either. All right, so... now to the title. I Hate Intellectuals was the original title, as I said earlier, but my brain said academics for some reason, and that just stuck. I digress. Having specialized expertise in something does not mean you are generally smart. Right?
It doesn't. It really doesn't, though. Like, we've seen examples of this.
There is a difference between being educated and being intelligent.
Right.
They are not the same thing. Being intelligent helps with getting educated.
Yeah, there's overlap in the Venn diagram, sure.
Yeah, but being educated just means that you went through the process. That's what that means. I feel like so many people are highly educated or highly skilled, but lack intelligence. Also, people who have achieved / survived such high levels of education tend to grow chips on their shoulders, particularly people from marginalized groups. That chip can grow so big as to become a blind spot for them, where they will either genuinely miss or be obtuse about things that either have little practical value or are incongruous with other points that they are trying to make. When Amanda was doing this, she said she was trying to throw Cheyenne some bill. She implied, if not straight up asserts, that she takes issue with how much society places on credentials to a point of detriment to those without them. She then turns around a few seconds later and complains that people didn't complain about Dr. Maya Angelou calling herself a doctor. Let's get into this.
She didn't call us a... Yo, y'all, I hate
explain.
I hate y'all.
Let me explain this. When she says, Amanda, that is, when she says society, I have to assume she is talking about the system of the society in which we live, because it would be disingenuous to think that the average Joe cares about credentials. Far be it from me to ever call Amanda disingenuous.
Far be it from me to say that what you just said there was disingenuous.
The idea that the average Joe cares about credentials is poppycock.
Yeah.
So she
except for when it comes to their doctor. No one's going to be operated on by me because I said,
yeah, that's different.
I read an encyclopedia.
Yeah. Because that's how they read the word doctor.
Yes. That's how they read the word doctor.
That's a whole nother issue. Yes. So we're going to assume she's talking about the systems. All right.
She is.
Cool. Now, let's get into the Maya Angelou thing.
Please.
Honorary doctorates are intended to be the non-academic equivalent of a formal doctorate.
Yep.
This is not me saying that every person who receives one is given one for the best reasons, but I'll get to that. But they are the highest non-academic honor a university can bestow and a symbolic academic degree awarded by a university to individuals who have made exceptional contributions to society, philanthropy, or specific fields.
There it is.
That's the same point of a doctorate. That is the point. It is to show expertise.
That's right.
That is the point of it. Now,
right.
There are definitely some iffy honoraries out there. Yes, of course. Any system is going to have flukes. It's just inherent in being alive.
And also, we're talking about literally the education system that is literally out here robbing motherfuckers over student loans and doing predatory behavior. Yes, you're going to find.
Yes, there are going to be bad faith actors. Yes, of course. Some people get them from their alma mater simply because they became relatively successful, right? Some are big donors to the school. But to be fair, that kind of does check the philanthropy box. So I'm not going to dig into that one. And so on and so forth. But most of these people may get one or two honorary doctorates. Maya Angelou never went to college. So the alma mater thing, that's out the window.
Yes.
But she happens to have somewhere between 30 and 50 honorary doctorates. Now, if your argument 10 seconds before you mentioned her name was that you dislike the systems of society that put so much on credentials to the detriment of people without them, what concept would be a step in fighting that? Oh, an honorary doctorate.
Yeah.
Because of what the purpose of it is.
Right.
Again, there are people who don't fit into that. Sure, 100%. That's a fact. However, the point of it, those people generally don't have 7.
Right.
They generally don't have 10.
Right.
She has 30, somewhere between 30 and 50.
Right.
We're not doing this. On top of that, how dare you compare? Well, let's play your game.
Some skeevy.
How dare you compare Maya Angelou and I Rise? I know why the caged bird sings. Maya Angelou. Civil rights activist Maya Angelou. To grifter Cheyenne Bryant. How dare you?
How could you?
There is no comparison. What are we talking about here?
Like, are we really playing this game? First of all, a lot of Maya Angelou's doctorates was in literature, poetry, humanities, civil rights, social justice, education, shit like that. Which she is, her life.
She is those things.
Life's work is those things.
She is a literary. She is a poet. Level. She is a professor. She is a civil rights activist.
Yes. and furthermore, how many motherfuckers you know have gone to school and actually went through the system and got their literature and poetry doctorate and had anywhere near the impact of a Maya Angelou? So yes, if they're judging it off of her life's work and said, no, you definitely have to get one of these because the shit you done did is just above the pale. And of course, it's not one she gave herself.
Right. Yeah. So speaking of that, everybody has heard the phrase "jack of all trades," right?
Master of none.
Even less people have heard "master of none" because "jack of all trades" is actually a pejorative.
Yes, it is.
But it's evolved. We're not
etymology. Maybe you heard of the one that they usually call me a jackass of all trades.
Well, yeah, no, that's different. Etymology and things being prescriptive versus descriptive and connotation and denotation, whatever. All that aside, right? There is an elevated version that is the positive side of being a jack of all trades. That is called being a polymath.
That's right.
A polymath is an individual whose knowledge actually spans a diverse variety of subjects, and it is not a It is not a scenario where it's the whole master of none thing. No, generally they do master several of these disciplines and subjects, or whatever the case may be. That's who you're talking about when you're talking about Dr. Maya Angelou.
Who?
Dr. Maya Angelou. That's who you're talking about in that case. Yes, it is absolutely just like it is the case that these honorary doctorates are supposed to represent something and there are outliers.
Right.
Is the same way that people with honorary doctorates generally don't go by doctor, yet there are outliers. When you have 30 to 50 of them.
Bruh, listen, when you have 30 or 50 of them, you not saying doctor in front of your name becomes the travesty. That's the travesty.
Like, what are we doing? Man, and I know. Hold on, we're gonna get to that. So, as a slight aside, but it fits into the category. I saw someone on TikTok that pissed me the fuck off. This is what solidified, for a little inside baseball, I said this statement to Tim earlier in the week. I said I hate intellectuals.
Yes,
that was just a throwaway at the time, but I saw this fucking video on TikTok that solidified this shit for me for the show. It's emblematic of my issue with intellectuals, but this might have something to do with being autistic as well. But there might be a deeper link between being neurodivergent and this phenomenon that I'm experiencing. I'm just not going to call it that because I don't want to be ableist.
Exactly.
But the video in question was a woman responding to a comment. The comment said, okay, wait, before I do this. If someone, this is just, I'm not expecting either any specific type of answer, just what do you think in general? Because it really doesn't matter to the exercise. I'm just curious.
Right, curious.
If someone says to you they have several or multiple degrees, what comes to mind? What do you think they are saying?
Expertise in several different things.
Several different things. Okay. She did a video responding to a comment. The comment says she has 4 degrees, but it's her AS, BS, MS, and PhD. She then says in the video, help me out. I want to make sure I understand this. Sounding genuine. And then she says, I'm genuinely asking because I'm autistic. Please explain this comment for me. Right. So the comments proceed to explain to her that when most people hear someone say they have multiple degrees, they think multiple disciplines or multiple majors because having an elevated degree in a discipline already implies the lesser degrees of said discipline. You cannot have a PhD and not have a bachelor's degree.
Exactly. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way.
Right. Did she take in the new information and consider it and adjust? Nope.
Let me guess. No.
She just fought back and kept making snarky comments that insulted other people's intelligence. She said shit like, I assure you the people in this comment section don't represent a majority of people. Completely ignoring the context that she created the space from which the majority that people were speaking of came.
What are we doing?
The most concerning thing about this is that her doctorate is in education. Education. That is the most concerning thing for me about this.
The problem is education is broad.
Yes.
That's the problem.
Yes. It's the same thing that we ran into with people like, again, Amanda Seales and Mark Lamont Hill and their critiques on Kamala Harris leading up to the election. Nobody arguing in good faith was saying that that woman was beyond criticism.
No.
That was not the argument. The arguments were, one, that you have a huge following that are not intellectuals and therefore do not do the thought experiments or apply the nuance or contain the ability to compartmentalize what you are saying enough to separate her enough for the lesser of two evils thing to work. And two, given number one, voting third party or write-in is effectively a vote for Trump. This is the reason I change how I interact with people over certain things. Years ago, I had these types of behaviors. I ain't gonna hold you. I absolutely used to be a snob about these certain things that I have a certain level of experience in. My beliefs on those things haven't changed, but how I express them has. I don't do the well actually unless something negative is about to happen.
Yeah, right.
I don't just outwardly bash certain music unprovoked. I don't correct when people say stuff about photography that's incorrect.
Right.
Unless I ask first or the person is talking about specifically getting into photography.
Right.
If you have a certain level of experience in something, you can't assume that others do as well.
Right.
Now, all this goes out the window when you talk about liars and grifters, but that's because they imply or outright say that they have this level of experience. You can shit on them all you want. That's I don't
And I do.
Anything wrong with that.
Because
listen. Absolutely.
Listen, I stay with some toilet paper because it's too many of y'all. It's a lot of y'all out there too. It's a lot, and I think this is the issue too with that. The reason why I feel like a lot of the intellectuals and academics do exactly what you're suggesting now is because they're also contending with a society that is anti-expertise.
Absolutely.
And people get into, thank you, Betty, and people get into team sports a bit with that. And what make it even worse, it makes it more cemented to them, is we've seen examples of actual harm from grifters, and even, hate to say it, from average people who don't mean any harm, but they are literally fucking things up because they're laboring under misconceptions, misinformation, and they are spreading it. And if they are charismatic, if they have a lot of friends, they go on social media and they get a huge amount of attention, and they get up there and they say these things. This is the reason why the caveat should always be, if you're not an expert in this field, it take you less than 3 seconds to say, look, I'm no expert.
That part.
And then go into whatever it is your observation is, your take on some shit is. You have no idea how effective that is to cover your own ass in these conversations. But more importantly, no one can say, unless they came in the middle of your diatribe or the end of your diatribe, no one can say that you misrepresented what your actual level of practical experience and expertise. Some people have yet to really like dial in to the fact when I say I value my credibility over my opinion, because my opinion could be wrong. Flat out wrong for a myriad of reasons.
Yeah.
But my credibility remains even if I'm wrong about something, because people who know me and have dealt with me know if he came to that conclusion, he looked at some stuff first. He questioned some stuff first and maybe got put down the wrong path that led him to this.
Right.
So we're just going to repair that understanding and then he'll be right on track.
That part.
We can't say that for a lot of people these days, because I have seen motherfuckers get corrected in the right way, not in a way that was disingenuous, not in a way that insulted their intelligence, none of that shit. They talk to them like reasonable, rational people, only for me to see these same people get into the same conversation with somebody else and still parrot the bullshit they was just corrected on. Some of y'all got a problem.
Yeah. Oh, nigga.
That's a problem.
Nigga. So, there was a glitch. That's funny. So I understand, but as an academic, that you have earned a certain level of knowledge, right? I want you to understand that being a fact does not mean someone who doesn't have those credentials could not be right about something.
Exactly.
I have acquired so much knowledge that I have not earned.
Facts.
So much knowledge that I have not earned.
I would argue you did earn it.
Well,
Just not
in the traditional way. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You didn't go to school for photography, motherfucker.
No, not at all.
You learned on these streets.
But I can still, facts, but I can still tell you some shit that you generally aren't going to know.
I can still shoot a picture that you gonna look at and go, damn, that's some professional shit. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So like, I want people to act like that is a thing. Also, like you said, the whole thing about I'm not an expert. That's
3 seconds.
It's very simple.
3 seconds.
And it makes. One thing that it does is it aids in disarming bad faith actors and people who argue in bad faith.
Yes.
Because they can't use that against you, because that is a tactic that people use. But
when I was a Muslim, my imam used to say, he would preface stuff, don't believe me.
Right.
Go look it up.
Yep.
Don't believe me. Go look it up.
Unfortunately, you can't really do that these days.
No. No.
Because
see, when he was saying go look it up, we would go to the Department of Humanities and like library and various places.
Right.
It's not the same. It ain't the same. Because if you already, oh my goodness, and this shit just this is the first time I'm actually verbalizing this. But if you already lack critical thinking skills, if you already lack the ability to research and to be able to filter like your standards for what would be considered a valuable source versus a source that you really can't rely on, you doing research isn't going to help you.
Yeah, it's not really.
It's just going to lead you down a rabbit hole.
And then, especially in this day and age, because people think that all research is just go on to ChatGPT.
Yeah, that's the other thing, which is the reason why I take issue a lot. I kind of cringe when I see people say I did my research. I'll be cringing.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you do your research?
You did your research,
or did you type a leading question? You type a leading question that you don't realize is a leading question into a prediction model that is trying to figure out the next pattern and works to validate what you are saying to it.
Facts.
Which one of those did you do?
All facts. Listen, I'm gonna say this. Yo, the neutrality of your research matters.
Yep.
Don't go in there looking to support your shit. If anything, go in there looking to disprove what you believe. Go in there looking to do that. Falsify your shit. Falsify your shit. But again, that's.
Well, now you're telling them to apply the scientific method, and I don't think they're gonna do that.
And look, I'm not even asking.
Not the full method.
I am not asking you that you have to be perfect.
Right.
I'm just saying, make some fucking effort, because y'all really don't be. And I can tell by the responses, the reply. A lot of times I will read and not respond to shit. I'm just looking, and I'm looking at some people's shit, and I will go and look up some shit they said and go, yo, this is wrong. And all of it really took you was an extra couple of minutes to go and do some more, to dig into this, and you would see that you got the wrong conclusion from this shit. Yep. And like I said, nobody's perfect on this matter.
Right.
So that should be out of the conversation. I should never have to hear anybody argue from the standpoint of perfection of any fucking thing. That was never on the table. You hear me? Perfection was never on the table. And I don't look. You talking about anything from political opinions, governmental structures, your understanding of a science thing, or none of that other stuff. Understand that perfection was never on the table. It was never the thing we were looking for from you.
Correct.
Was perfection. So don't come at it from that perspective where if a person didn't get something perfect, that discredits what they no. Listen to the overall of what the person's talking about. Then we can get into the minutia. If he's all full of shit, then yes, by all means, like
have at it.
Do what you do. But if he has a bunch of knowledge in there and kernels of misrepresentation, mispronouncing of a word, or some shit like that, do not make the perfect the enemy of the good. This motherfucker has done some work. Give him the credit for that
part. But that's not realistic. We're asking a lot.
No, we are asking a lot. Both of us, especially since AI response is the first Google search. Bruh!
Yeah.
Bruh.
That's the whole thing. That is the whole thing. So let me get the rest of this out of here talking about this training thing. Now, we still not talking about details of any specific interactions. Right. Nothing super crazy has happened. Nothing surprisingly positive has happened. The thing I hate most about training is when someone tells me something changed on the screen. Is when somebody tells me something changed on the screen that they didn't change. Because now I have to fight with their cognitive dissonance and the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Yes.
I'm going to give this lesson every time. Every time the shit comes up, I'm going to give this lesson. Computers are dumb.
Oh.
They don't do anything that they are not told to do. There are some instances where you may be using one and not realize what you're actually telling it to do. Whether you aren't computer literate, whether there's a virus present, or whether it was programmed badly, which are all other forms of it being told what to do.
Right.
But someone told it to do the thing. The second thing I hate most about training, you would think, would be having to tell these people to read their fucking instructions. That's not exactly it. It fits into this category a bit, but it's actually people not doing the work. This is the second time a job hasn't been on board with doing what.
So tight.
Thank you. This is the second time a job hasn't been on board with doing what they needed to do to get up and running.
Right.
The first time was the first job we started training. And it got so bad that we skipped them. We just said, oh, fuck it, you're not taking this seriously, we'll be back. Now, I wish we can do that again, but there's only one more place after this, and they are last for a reason.
Please get going. I got to get rid of this cat. He is wildin'. Just keep going. I can hear you. I got my phone. Wildin', son.
Oh, yeah, I wish that we could skip this location, but there's only one more left, and those people are left last for a reason. Because of the nature of that property, they got to be last. But let's explain why I would like to skip them. I trained this location all day on 4/27 and 4/28. That was a Monday and a Tuesday. After each session, I told them to log in every day from that point to do one test a day. Come that Friday, none of them had done that. I was off the following week. What up, McKenna? I was off the following week. That's when I had my surgery. When I came back to work on 5/11, they still were not doing it. And one person, when in training, when we sat down, we asked them, "Hey, have you been on your tests?" Straight up looked at us with a straight face and lied to us. Said, "Yeah, I've done a few." First of all, I didn't ask you to do a few. right? It's been 2 full weeks. You were supposed to have done 10 at least. I didn't ask you to do a few. You're supposed to have done at least 10. But on top of that, and this is the part that pisses me off the most, is
this nigga said, first of all, I ain't asked you that.
no, I didn't ask you to do a few. Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
What up, McKenna?
But second of all, you didn't do a few.
Right.
And third, last
So
but not least, when I go to train a new location, I give the same speech. And how do I know it's the same speech? Because I have it typed out. I literally read from the paper.
Right.
One of the things that I say is, and context clues, everybody doesn't use them, I know, but I be trying to help people. And one of the things I say is, make sure that when you are away from your computer, you are logged off of this platform, because anybody can sit down at your desk if you're logged in, move everybody out of this property, and it's going to look like you do it. Key point, because we can see what you do on this platform. That's the important part of all this. The rest of that is a joke, as an icebreaker, blah, 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 blah. Even cautionary tale, call it that too. But the main focus of that little bit is to express to you that the powers that be can see everything you do on this platform.
You're fucking doing.
Most of the people hear this, understand it, understand all the implications of it. But this particular person must have
Not
went
so much
in one ear out the other. Because you're going to straight up lie to me about what. But I told you we can see everything. Okay, all right, cool. So that person lied. That was 5'11". No, that was 5'18". That was 5'18". So yeah, it had been a full 2 weeks plus since you were supposed to have been doing them daily. And you did maybe 2? Maybe?
And you did butt kiss.
Right. They did more than most people did, though. Anyway, regardless. When I left that day on 5/18, I reminded them again that they should be doing a test a day.
Right.
I went back on 5/21. They still hadn't done anything.
Oh.
And the person that I was training with, that was helping me train, asked another individual, "Hey, have you been logging on?" That response was, "I think so."
There's no way you can think so. Hold on, stop. There is no way.
The response was, "I think so." No, I think so.
Either you did or you didn't.
I'm sorry. It was, yeah. And then I guess the person, because the person is notoriously bad at hiding their facial expressions, I guess the person looked at them and reacted to the yeah. And then the follow-up was, "I think so." Mind you, this is not the same person. This is a different person.
So wait a minute. The facial expression when the person said they did, they went.
I actually couldn't see their face. I was behind them, so I couldn't see their face. But this is a different person. This is yet another person from the person that outright lied. Right. And this is outright lying too. It's just hedged with the yes. I think so. Right? And then, all right, cool. That's 5/21. The end of the day, 5/21, I did the same exact thing. Told them, hey, remember, test the day. On 5/21, I told them, facts, Mike, I told them I would be back on 5/26. There were 2 people left who I had not gotten to for round 2 of training. 2 people. That was verbally acknowledged. I get there on 5/26. Guess what time we started?
What time?
12 o'clock.
Oh.
Mind you, I got there at like 9:30. We didn't start till like
Wow.
12.
Wowzers.
Why did we not start until
Wowzers.
12? Because there was a meeting that involved both of those people. That was not an emergency meeting. It wasn't an impromptu meeting. It was a meeting that had been scheduled already. But this person never told me about that meeting. So, after said meeting, the other person, not the person that I had been communicating with, the other of the two people, was like, hey, ain't James waiting for us? And then that person got up, came to the back, started doing what they supposed to do. That first person, the one that I was communicating with, still had not come to the back. About 10 minutes later, they come to the back. Hey, I'm ready, blah, blah, blah. All right, cool. I don't have
Right, Sean. Right. Then they probably wanted to take lunch to a train.
That's funny. Well, no, not quite. Not quite. Don't bury the lead. So about 10, 15 minutes later, they come to the back. All right, I'm ready. All right, I don't have another person with me. I don't have another laptop. You can go ahead and do this on your computer because you're going to be doing it on your computer anyway. Go ahead and do this on your computer. They go back to their desk. Immediately get on the phone. Not picks phone up to do something. No. The work phone that is sitting at their desk immediately picks it up and starts calling people. Okay? About 10 minutes later, okay, how do I get on from my computer? It's in your instructions. It's on page 3.
It's right there.
You didn't bother to go to page 3.
Do
Actually,
you remember
hold on.
when I told you to read your instruction?
Listen, let me check something because I think I don't. What I try not to do is be unfair, right?
What I try to do is be unfair, but reasonably unfair.
Oh well, I mean, sure, that's an option. That's always an option. But I want to look at this before I make this claim. So the very first page of the packet, the table of contents, the table of contents.
No, yeah.
The first line that shows the first, what are they called? What are the lines that lead to the numbers called on the table of contents? Is there a word for them? I don't know what they're called. Whatever. Not the first one. But the very second one says logging in on the first page, the cover page, the page that if you just put the shit down right side up is visible. The second liner that tells you a page to go to says logging in to Rent Manager for the first time. It says that right there.
Oh, man.
On top of that, it's only page 3. So, had you ever just opened... Okay, you get what I'm going. Okay, you get what I'm doing. I don't have to finish that. Okay.
But goodness said, when have you ever been reasonable? Shoosh.
I mean...
Shoosh.
The young woman has a point. But anyway.
You shoosh.
Oh, my bad. So, I'm like, yeah, it's on page 3. Okay. She goes to page 3. She starts to log in.
Yo, even if you were faking going through it, you would have saw page.
You would have saw it.
Yeah, I went through.
You would have saw it.
You would have saw it. It's right there.
But again, that doesn't matter because the cover page, the very first page, tells you logging into Rent, whatever. Okay. So about 5 minutes passes again. Why 5 minutes? Not sure.
Oh.
Not sure. About 5 minutes passes again. What's my username? I'm sorry. What?
Wow.
Number 1.
Wow.
Why did it take you 5 minutes?
Wow.
Why did it take you 5 minutes from the point that I showed you where to go to find out how to get there to logging in?
Wow.
That's 1. But 2, you know why you don't remember your username? Because you haven't fucking logged in.
Yo, listen.
It is now. It is now 5. What date was that? It was now 5/26. I trained you, specifically you, on 4/28. It has been a month, and you had only logged in that day that I trained you the first time.
It's 420 somewhere in the way.
Okay. All right. So I'm now this one I wasn't actually for most of that I wasn't being a jerk, but this one is the first one where you might hear it and think that I'm trying to be a jerk. I was like, I don't know your username.
Yeah, like
I have no idea what your username is. Your username is probably the same username that you use for this other program that we use. I said, because that's what I recommend.
How would you know her username specifically?
I mean, I could guess, right? The reason I don't know her username, so for most people, I would know their username because the username is first initial, last name. Mm-hmm. The problem with her is since she's been with the company, her last name has changed. So I don't know which one is the username. So like, I legitimately don't know your username. And she said one of her names, and I'm like, it could be. I don't know. I'm not sure. That's for you to remember, not for me to remember.
Facts.
So she gets logged in. I want to say it's like 1:00 at this point. Mm-hmm. The other one has finished the first thing that they had to do and is working, and the second, I think, and working on the third one. Uh-huh. I'm not hearing anything from the procrastinator. I'm helping out the other one whenever she asks. Then, about 20 minutes pass. The procrastinator says, all right, I'm looking for a unit. Nothing is popping up. Now, me just saying that doesn't sound crazy. Without context, that might be something she legitimately needs help with, right?
Yes, and it's your job.
Right, it's my job to help them.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to save the most egregious. I'm going to save the most egregious one for last. Here's the thing. Let me see what page it's on because I actually have the instructions in front of me because I practice what I.
Oh, let me see if I understand it. You read your instructions.
I do. I tend to do such.
And you wrote those instructions, didn't you?
I did.
And
I still.
That's.
Okay, so page 24. So I see where she's stuck. So I don't have to ask that question. Usually that's my first question. Where are you in the instructions? I see where she's stuck. All right, cool. Don't gotta ask that. I'm like, all right, what do you think you did wrong? She's like, I don't know. I immediately see it. I'm like, hey, this is what you did wrong. That's not what the instructions tell you to do.
Right.
Look at your instructions. She says, okay. 3 to 5 minutes pass. I still don't get it. Okay, cool. Because everybody don't process at the same rate and all that other good stuff. Cool. No problem with that. But I go over there, and that thing hasn't changed. The thing that she got wrong, that I pointed out to her that was wrong, has not changed.
Wrong.
That's still wrong. It's in the same exact way. Like, not as if it's a math problem and the answer was 72 and you put 71 and now you've put 74. No, 71 was still sitting there on the fucking screen. Okay. Look at your instructions. It's in your instructions. Do your instructions tell you to do the thing that you just did? She goes back to the instructions.
So now she reads. Okay.
Yes. Did you read these instructions? Excuse me. I wrote the instructions.
Listen.
Oh, well, there must be something missing.
McKenna said another bad literacy fact in the U.S., the rate of adults scoring in the lowest literacy category, which is considered completely illiterate, has actually increased 10% over the last decade. I think you're dealing.
Hey, listen, I can't confirm or deny. But yeah, all right, cool. You read these instructions? I wrote the instructions. Oh, well, something seems to be missing. No, it doesn't. And I went to the page where it is. Look at your instructions.
Yo, did you hit her? Did you really hit her with the flat monotone? No, it doesn't.
Yes. Yes, 100%. I'm not doing it. I'm simply not doing this with you. I'm not about to get into an argument match with you. It's not going to happen. We're just going to speak about facts. Now, here's the most egregious part of all this, right? So for round 2 of training, what I did was basically told them to look at the page 2 and do the scenarios that are on page 2. What does page 2 consist of? It consists of the most common things, workflows that we would encounter while using this platform for this process. Number 1, the thing that she's working on currently is to check and do a prospect profile for a prospect that is interested, but there are no available units. What's the issue that she was having? She couldn't find an available unit. So even though, yes, she was doing it wrong, this should not have triggered a stop in the program.
Yeah.
Because the goal of what you're doing is that there are no available units. The symptom that you're experiencing is that there are no available units. Why the fuck didn't you? Okay. So, after I pointed it to the right direction, I went back to the other person. Other person was finishing up. I said, cool, you're done. Good job. That person was like, ooh, it's been a while since I looked at this. I need to get back on top of looking at it every day. I said, yes, you do. But you did a good job. I go get lunch.
Oh.
I come back from lunch.
What'd you have for lunch, by the way?
Subway. Yeah, it got me a little sweet onion chicken teriyaki sub. Little 6-inch. Little 6-inch. Nothing, something a little slight. Powdered up with some spinach, some lettuce, and some. Yeah, I mean, come on. God, you gotta get your vegetables in there. But anyway, I come back, sit in the same area that this person is in. Doesn't say nothing to me. Still has it open. still has it open, so I'm assuming that they're working.
Right.
But time is just passing, and she's not saying anything to me. So I'm assuming she got it.
Slipping into the future.
Hey, listen, I'm assuming she got it because she's not asking me no more questions. Cool.
She figured it out.
Yeah, she figured it out. She figured it out.
She got it.
Except 3 o'clock comes.
Oh, 3 o'clock high.
And I notice she still didn't do the first one. The very first one is the quickest one to do. That is the least amount of work. And in this almost 3 hours, she was not able to complete that. Now, somebody who knows the process fairly well, it would take them 5 minutes to do step 1. But, of course, she doesn't know the process fairly well. Someone who is completely new to the process and has never trained on it or seen it a day in their life, it should generally take them maybe 45 minutes. Maybe. And that's still being generous.
Yeah, you mean.
I would imagine it should take closer to maybe 15 minutes.
Right.
But, all right, I'll stretch it out to 45. It's been 3 hours.
It's very generous of you.
I mean, listen, it's been 3 hours. And shortly after 3 o'clock, I notice she gets up, walks away. Oh, okay. I see what's going on here. You think I'm here and doing this for my health.
Wait a minute, you mean this doesn't make you healthy?
No, listen, bet. All right.
Loaded Luck said everything healthy.
Listen, everything is healthy. I get up, I pack up my laptop, I grab the bag, I start walking towards the door. I tell one of the managers, hey, I'm out. I'll be back on Thursday. Are you leaving right now? I said, yes. Yes, I am. She says,
well, yes.
Okay. Why is this? Because some of these other people that are in the same vicinity are experiencing what's happening. They see what's going on. They see the lack of willingness.
Yes.
So when I say it to them, I'm leaving, they're like, oh, shoot, well, shit, that's on her. All right, okay, cool. And I dip. So, remember, I have no power on my own. I am simply a herald. The powers that be asked me later on how training was going. Now,
you said sir.
When people are into it and willing and actually trying, I always shoot them bail no matter how well or how poorly the training is going.
Because they're actually trying. Right.
Yes.
Right.
You can be the most illiterate adult in the world, and if I see that there's actual effort being put forth, I'm going to shoot bail.
Right.
But there was no effort in the most important ways. So I said, if you really want to know how this is going, go ahead and check the logs and see when who has logged in.
Right.
Do that. They looked. They said, oh, they're not taking this seriously. I said, hey, I ain't say that. I'm just saying, look at the empirical data.
Right.
Don't rely on my word.
Right.
Just look at the data and look at when I went out to train, match it up against these dates, and form your own conclusion. That's
all.
That's all I can tell you. That's all I can tell you. Next thing I know, my boss comes to me and says, I talked to that person's boss. I talked to another person.
Special space.
What up? I talked to another person who is on an equivalent level of that person that works at a different location. We're going to start. Tell them we're going to start soon.
Right.
Tell them we have a date. We're going to choose to just start. And that's the funny thing. I did that for another of these properties because it was kind of the opposite of this. The most important person that I needed on my side was doing what they were supposed to do. It was everybody else that was fucking off.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to throw you an alley-oop because you're doing what you're supposed to do, but these people aren't cooperating. Right. Hey, y'all start Monday. Monday, how are we going to figure it out?
Figure that shit out.
Figure it out. If they were doing what they were supposed to have been doing, they would be more confident. Same thing with this situation, except it wasn't my idea this time. It was somebody else's idea. He was like, oh, no, you know how you fix that? Tell them they got to start Monday. Oh, okay. All right. Well, shit, fuck it. I mean, now, that time that I did it, I had more confidence that they would be able to figure it out by then. In this situation, it's not necessarily I don't have the confidence. It's that it's more people. Like in that first situation, it was only 3 people total that worked at the office.
Statistically, the odds are that more people will fail because it's more people.
Right. So it ended up getting it's not 2 days from now, it's the next Monday. But yeah, no, y'all got it. Because one of the questions that kept being asked was, when do we start? When we going live? When are we going live? And the answer I can't give you, whenever y'all ready, as long as you cooperate. That's the answer. Because that is the actual answer.
Yeah.
If y'all cooperated to y'all fullest extent, it would not have taken a month for me to train you. Now we're over a month. So you've lost that privilege of being able to, because with that setup, you kind of get to dictate, even if it's subconsciously, you get to dictate when you go live.
Right.
Whenever you get it and you start to feel comfortable with it, that's when you go live. You've lost the privilege of dictating when you go live now. Now there's a hard date, and you got to figure the shit out by that. And I'm only going to be there one day between now and then. So y'all better
figure something to fuck
get
out.
on the good foot. I ain't got listen. I've done all I can. And that's the tact that I'm going to move forward with. Because this is only one process out of 20 probably that they have to learn new. Moving forward, I'm not going to put in all of this care into this shit anymore. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. I'm not going to beg you. I'm not going to fuss at you. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, and you're going to have to deal with the consequences.
Right.
It's not my business anymore. Hey, I'm here to train you for such and such and such and such. Trained you. Okay, do this. Whether you do it or not, next time I come out, that's supposed to be another training day, I'm going to train you. When I finish training you, do this. Whether you do it or not, that is when I'm going to say to the powers that be, hey, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. If you want to see how it's going, go check. Whatever comes from that is whatever comes from that. This is listen,
they have their instructions though, bro.
They have their instructions. This shit was stressful. But I realized I'm not really in position to allow this shit to stress me out.
No, because here's the thing, right? You have a bunch of other stuff going on. So what that says to me is you got to prioritize the amount of stress tolerance you are willing to have to deal with.
Before we even step outside, before we even step outside of the 9 to 5, within the 9 to 5, I have other shit I have to worry about.
Right.
Then you step outside of the 9 to 5, nigga.
Bruh.
I got other shit I have to worry about. I'm sorry. I cannot afford to devote so much of my bandwidth to this. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do, and how you take that is up. That's between you and management. Right. 'Cause I'm not management. Yeah, I ain't got no trouble to put you in.
They be putting you in.
Yes.
Management.
Absolutely.
Scenarios and shit.
Absolutely. I literally had one person say to me, I don't know if this was a joke or not. And I didn't say this to management. And when I say management, I mean upper management. I didn't say this to them because she said, I think some people are trying not to do this because the quicker it happens, the more danger their job is in. And I said to this person, I don't know what the reality behind that is or not. What I do know, though, is if you think that's the case, who do you think they're going to keep?
They're going to keep the people that understand how to do this
shit. The people that understand how to do it. Right. So it behooves you to be in that number as my fellow Christians. It behooves you. It behooves you to be in that number.
In that number.
Hey. It behooves you to be in that number. So you might want to
figure this shit out.
Take advantage of this time and opportunity.
Yo, it's amazing to me, right? It's amazing to me how there's either a new standard or a new tool or new procedure that gets introduced into a workplace. Mm-hmm. And the people see that and think, oh, damn, this could replace me. I've seen this before. Mm-hmm. I've seen it with in production warehouses where they bring in a new machine, where this machine can effectively do what at first it took 30 people to do, right? And in this specific case, it did end up costing 30 people their jobs eventually. It did, right. Without question. Well, 29.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because one nigga learned the machine.
One dude learned the motherfucking machine, B. And he learned how to operate, clean it, all of that.
Mm-hmm. It's unfortunate. However, this is how capitalism works.
Yes, and you've been living in it your
Your
whole
entire life. This is not news. And sorry, if I'm speaking matter-of-factly and I'm speaking bluntly, I apologize for how that feels. That does not change the facts on the ground. The facts on the ground are, if you truly believe that this new system will serve to reduce the workforce, don't you think it's in your best interest for you to know the system?
If you're trying to stay.
If you're trying to stay.
Like, because the other option is, I ain't learned this shit, I'm gonna look for something else.
Right.
That's the other option now.
And that's cool. If that's how you feel.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. Now, I will say, it ain't always that easy. And
No. Oh, it's rarely that easy.
Yeah, especially nowadays.
Right.
You're just gonna find something to replace.
Yeah, no, you generally don't.
But it's always funny to me how, like I said, something new will be brought into the workplace, and immediately the reaction to a handful of people will be, this is going to replace everybody, so I'm not going to participate with it. It's going to do that regardless, sir.
No matter what.
Did you think management was bringing this in here and relying on you to agree to its success? No. Yeah. This is a thing that's happening. You either learn it and put yourself in the best position so it doesn't replace your shit.
Right.
Or you say, this isn't going to work out for me.
Yeah.
I need to be in the process while I'm still working here of looking for someplace else.
Absolutely.
Because either way, management is going to use this thing. Whoever sold them on it, I happen to be in meetings before. As lower management, I happen to be in meetings when they're about to introduce a new tool into the thing. I heard them talk. This is a thing. This is happening.
Yeah. Well, all right. So nepotism and sentiment aside, there is nothing special about you.
No.
There's nothing special about you. You are replaceable. And if they get something that is intended to replace you, it will replace. But here's the thing. All that is true. And additionally, what is true is I have no knowledge that is what this is for in this case.
This is what you are assuming.
In this case, I'm not even
paranoia.
assuming. No. Here's the thing. That's what they're assuming. My assumption is the opposite, actually.
Right.
My assumption.
But they're assuming this, though.
My assumption is that they aren't looking to get rid of people. However, a byproduct of the efficiency of this platform will be that the leash will be shorter.
Right.
I don't think that once we get up and running, they just going to eliminate. No, I don't believe that, because that's not how this company has behaved in the future.
Yeah,
I talked
you've
about
said that
this
before.
You have to commit murder.
Have to murder a manager or somebody on the floor.
Right.
In order for,
So this is not traditionally how this company has behaved. So I do not believe that the purpose, actually, I know for a fact what one of the purposes of getting the system was, and it's because, now, funny enough, what the actual purpose is could lead into this secondary purpose, but the actual purpose was there were too many people fucking up, so we get a system that makes it less likely.
Fucking up.
Right. But we get a system that makes it less likely that you will fuck up, and also easier to fix the fuck ups.
Right.
Now, a byproduct of that could be people getting laid off. It could be, but again, I don't think they're looking to lay people off.
Do that,
I think it's just going to happen because people be on bullshit, and currently with the current system, we kind of need them. We can't get rid of. There's not enough. The system isn't sophisticated enough to be able to handle a lack of people. This new system,
some of the paranoia might be valid for you to have the paranoia.
I agree,
but to operate strictly off of that is a bit insane to me.
Yeah. Because here's the thing. I have been privy to upper management saying to a manager that is trying to get rid of somebody, all right, but who are we going to have to replace them?
Right.
I've heard stories of this happening. So with this new system, I don't think it's going to come out their mouth no more. I mean, to a certain extent, like a place that has 10 agents now, I don't think if they get down to 5 agents, the management is still going to be trying to get rid of people. No, I don't think that's the case. Right. But if you got 10 agents now and this new system makes it easier for everybody to do the work the same way and makes a lot less strain, causes a lot less foot traffic, causes a lot less phone calls, causes a lot less work in general to have to be done manually, and 2 people acting up, you might not hear that statement from management when the manager is like, hey, I want to get rid of, what did they do? Da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, right. Okay. That might be the conversation now. So, but again, all that to say, if you believe in your heart of hearts that this is here to replace people,
right,
it makes sense to be aware of it, know how to use it, so that you can make yourself more valuable in the event that this is actually the case. Right. So, I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm done with them. Like, I'm not going to go through all the hoops and all the fussing and all that. I'm not doing it. Because I'm not in charge of nobody, and y'all grown.
They grown.
I'm essentially arguing with some of you for you to not get in trouble.
Right.
And I'm not doing that shit
from getting in trouble. That's on them. They have to figure out how not to get in trouble.
Correct.
Fuck all that.
Correct. Hey, this is what you're supposed to do. Could you please do it? That's as far as I'm going at this point.
That's it.
This is what you're supposed to do. Could you please do it? I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. It would behoove you to do what you're supposed to do. I'm going to be fine either way.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Facts. But yeah, that's all I got.
So mine is really quick because it's one major thing. Earlier this week, actually for the past 2 weeks, honestly, the reception with the cable around here has been ass. Been ass. Glitchy. Pausing. All of those things, right? And full disclosure, I don't watch a lot of TV. I watch a lot of YouTube, and we have streaming services. For my money, if it was just left up to me, we wouldn't have cable because we're already paying for streaming services, and we got our internet. I watch YouTube more than anything else, to be honest. But that cable service is here specifically for my mother-in-law because she still likes to watch television in that way. So this bothers her. I, at first, didn't even notice it was happening because, as I said, I don't watch live TV.
Facts.
But now that we did know what's happening on a regular, consistent basis, it is interrupting a service that we are paying for. That is unacceptable.
Extremely.
So, got on the phone. Wife got on the phone with him. Well, first, before the phone situation, there was an online thing. Let me tell you something. The way these cable networks treat their customers, I've always complained about. And I've always said the reason they can get away with that is because they have a captive audience. If you're mad at Comcast and leave them, you're just going to the other guy. And then when you're mad at the other guy, you're going to go right back to Comcast.
That part.
This is how this works, at least in this area, right? So because of that, I think that's why they don't have any real, it's not super competitive to the point where it's like 5 of these companies in the area.
Right,
they got a thing like that, right? So after the frustrating, first of all, my wife didn't even know she was actually talking to a person when she was online because we are in that time now. We are in that time now, ladies and gentlemen. Remember when some of us grew up watching Star Trek, shit like that. It was, that stuff it's futuristic. It'll never happen. First of all, the first episodes, first series. Go back and look at that. The dashboards and all of that look very primitive now.
Yeah,
we are past a lot of stuff other than the space flight and all that other shit. We are past a lot of that other shit right there. So in this era, you could potentially be talking to an AI, to an agent, that if you're not accustomed to dealing with these things, you probably wouldn't tell. You don't know the telltale signs of whether they're saying.
Yep.
So for all she knew, she was talking to one of them. That did not do. So she finally got a person on. And let me tell you something. My wife, whether she chooses to acknowledge this or not, can be like her mama. One thing about my mother-in-law, if she's calling as a customer to complain about some shit, you about to catch the wrath if you are competent and attentive or saying some bullshit. I spend most of my time in this house either in the backyard or down here in this area. It's where all my work shit is. Right? I can hear her talking to people. Oh, she probably is. Special space. She probably is. Right? I could hear her. All right? She going in. My wife does the same thing. When you say stupid shit or you try to play them as dumb.
Don't do that.
My
Not
wife
a good
went
idea.
off. It's a bad idea. My wife went off. One of the reasons she went off is because these motherfuckers claimed we're sending somebody. They're going to be there between 8 in the morning and then they said 10 or 12. First of all, because you coming at my house, Adam, allow me to reiterate this. I don't like people in my house.
Correct.
At 8 a.m.?
I mean,
bruh, you lucky if they don't carry you out of here.
all right, okay. All right.
I don't like people in my crib.
Yes, you've made that abundantly clear.
But guess who was up? Before 8. It wasn't me. Because one of the rare times that I managed to sleep, my sleep is always fragmented. It's always fragmented. But just so happened that last window of sleep extended past the time to go up there. My mother-in-law was up. She's always up early. Waiting. Special Space said, I almost got murdered telling my ex-wife she was acting like him. Listen, she was up there waiting. Nobody came. Nobody came that day. When they called, my wife called, like, yo, where the fuck was the... Oh, he came and said nobody was home.
What?
I need you to understand something. When my mother-in-law sits in that living room, the front door is usually open. The big door is usually open. The screen door is closed and locked, but there's a big-ass window there. There's also a big-ass window on that side of the house in general. There's no way she could have missed somebody. Because she was up waiting for them, there's no way she would have missed anybody.
Right.
They're lying.
Correct.
So let me see if I understand this.
Yikes.
Not only is the service acting up, not only did they had to do a whole bunch of shenanigans to even get you to bring somebody over here, but then the person doesn't show up and says that they did. Now, I can only invite you to imagine how that went over.
Right.
Wasn't too good.
No.
Wasn't too good.
Listen, I got the shivers just imagining.
Bruh, the wrath in here was palatable.
No, thank you.
So imagine them talking to and they ass like a cheap suit.
Mm.
So they said, well, we're gonna send somebody else. This was the same day. He didn't show up, but said he did.
Yikes! Again?
Again.
Oh,
Again!
No. Oh no! Oh no,
So at this
baby!
point,
What is you doing?
the cancellation of the service was almost at hand.
I mean,
Because what the fuck is you doing? Twice in one day?
that part.
Got you. Eventually, though, they did send somebody the next day. They did come, not at 8, like they said it was, around 10-ish.
Mm.
But I was the only one that was here. Me and my son. Oh, and Sharon was here. So
God.
I had to talk.
Hey! If there's a body involved, can you not do this while we're live?
I would.
Okay.
Listen,
Okay. All right.
I had to talk with the gentleman,
Uh-huh.
and it turns out he wasn't the one. This is a whole new dude, so I can't put that.
Are you a co-op? Oh, my bad.
Listen, I couldn't put it on him. He's a whole new dude. He wasn't the one that was supposed to. All right.
Okay. All right.
So he fixes it outside, whatever's going on out there. Then he comes in the house, checks all the boxes, checking boxes, needs to be checking boxes, right? That's Royce checking boxes. So he says there's a problem with the splitter. Too many wires. They got too many wires. It's causing interference. Whatever. He goes and he fixes it. So he goes outside to, I guess, do his paperwork or whatever it is he's gonna do. I turned the TV on. Lo and behold, what do I see? The glitching is still occurring.
Yikes.
I rush outside before this motherfucker leaves. Ah! This thing is still doing that. So whatever you thought you was doing, it didn't work. I'm going to need you to come back in here and mess with this some more. Because you see, you're not going to leave me in the house with these two angry women coming back here and figuring out they didn't fix shit. It's just still doing this. So he comes back in the house. He actually switches out the box that she uses for a new one.
Okay.
And that's the main, that box is the main one. So in the living room is the main one. So turned it on. We both watched it. The glitching was happening, but at a far lesser rate. So all right, we're going to restart the boxes. Just restart them all. Because sometimes that's the thing. You got to restart the box.
Sure.
Restarted them. There was no more glitch.
You don't know.
But, shoosh.
Oh.
I went and checked all the TVs.
Oh.
But just in case, it's what we send to somebody else who don't have to come in here. He said, if anything, the problem is outside. So they don't have to come in here. If you send somebody to come back, they'll be fixing the thing outside. They don't have to come in here. I said, good, because I don't like people in my house. Don't like people in my house.
Wait, you told them that?
Yes, and for some reason, he took that as a cue to leave. So he took that as go. Let me get the fuck about here. This man towers over me by at least 6 inches. I'm out. I'm out. So he bounces, and we
threw him so hard that he bounced.
I mean, I got an arm, my guy.
Can we not do that?
But something that happened in the interim.
That is assault.
And shoosh. And I actually shared this picture with SBJ. So the boy cat, the only boy cat in the house, with his punk ass, is always begging to go outside now that he's older. We don't let any of these cats outside because none of these cats can deal with the ramifications of being out there in the world. These aren't the cats for that. We had cats that could do that. These ain't them. And we know them better than they know themselves.
Sure.
Me.
Yeah.
He showed me evidence of that today. Nigga, you in your house. You live here. I'm standing right there. This cat was so terrified, but so nosy at the same time. He kept peeking out of my mother-in-law's room. He crept down the hallway, got to the end of the hallway into the living room, to the entrance to the living room, where he sees the repair guy. There is a picture of him cowering. That guy ain't paying him no mind. He's cowering there on the floor. And then right after this picture, he runs back to the room.
You have no idea whose mind is paying who.
Listen. I tell him, I say, and you the one that be at that back door wilding about going outside.
What would you say?
In this episode,
caterwauling? Caterwauling?
That's exactly what he be doing.
Okay.
Caterwauling, right? And yet, somebody comes in your house where you are familiar. Your scent is all through here. You are familiar with this place. And you act like this. What do you think is going to happen when you go out that door and them foxes, them coyotes, the deer, the fucking groundhogs, the fucking hawks, all them motherfuckers that's out here in this area, when they take a look at you? This is why you can't go outside.
An about face and a caterwaul.
He's gonna do the catwalk back into the house. All right. This is why we don't let you go outside, right? Because you're a scaredy cat.
That's racist.
And we had a scaredy cat before. JB was a scaredy cat. He was very skittish. And he still went outside. But guess what? He could control his fear. He's like, look, I still want to be outside. But this is what's going to happen. I'm going to stay around the house. That old bullshit that T'Challa used to do, going all over the place, including going back in time 50 years. Well, that's what Ab said. He went back in time 50 years. All that shit he be doing. I'm not doing that. I'm staying around the house. All that shit Zora be doing, but following Siobhan to the school bus and then going to pick her up when she comes home. I'm not doing that shit. I'm staying around the house. So when he goes outside, at any given time you walk out there to see him or walk out there in the house to do something, take trash out, do whatever, he's going to be out there around the house. Might be the back, might be the side, might be the front. But his ass stays where he's safe. Say, look, I know this. Outside of this, I don't know that shit, and I don't care. I eat here. I get pets here. I take naps here. There's no reason for me to go anyplace else. The problem with this boy cat that we got, even though he looks like JB, he is decidedly not JB. And the fear is he will get skittish and spooked and not be able to find his way home. Run off. Oh, shit. Damn, they're trying to get me.
I mean, well.
And then he can't find his way back home.
Sure.
And then what I got to do is like we had to do before.
Relatable.
Is get some goddamn, have you seen this cat sign and put it on. I'm not doing that. Not. So you stay in your ass in the house. But yeah, everything else this week was basically about the campaign, comic book writing, because I'm doing this new thing with a new character. I'm trying to speed run her origin because I don't believe that I need to be doing these long ass to introduce the character into the main story that I want them introduced into. I don't need to do the long origin story thing. There's ways to do that to get all that information in without having me having to do a 5-part miniseries on the character. I don't have to do that, right? But that's what I've been working on this week. Also, SBJ hasn't mentioned it, but his mama dropped some music.
Indeed.
This week. You know what I'm saying? She dropped some music.
We told you there's always
There's always music. There is listen.
We don't say that for our health. It's an actual fact.
Right. Hold up. Let me find the name. It's called Everyone Ain't You. And you can find this on Spotify.
It's all over the place. Apple Music,
YouTube,
all the places that be.
All the places that be. So give his mama some streams.
Facts.
So give us some streams.
Y'all.
As far as we're concerned, it's the same. We already have music up there. Go run that up as well. But we would like to thank everyone for joining us for another rousing edition.
Yeah.
The Black Culture Geeks podcast. As we just previously mentioned, there's always music, but there is also a Kickstarter.
There is.
There is a Majesty Reader Kickstarter. Let me get this link up here in the chat. All right. There you go. Right.
Get on board.
Yeah. Get on board as we completely transform e-readers in general, because while this does service comic books, this can be used for any type of reader.
Correct.
Any type. So, yeah, Special Space. We doing it. So
things are
yes, absolutely. Done. And of course, also like we said, there's music. Gray has music. GA has music.
Ha! Everybody and their mama got music.
Everybody in it. Yo, that's a bar. that is a bar.
I'm just saying.
That is a bar. But yeah, man. So for my man SBJ, I am Tombstone the Dead Man. And for the greater multi-world entertainment family, we are out.
Peace.